Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. With my wife and kids, we run an antique shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, filled with some of the most unique items we can find. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
From home, honey.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another day, another adventure of picking. This morning I'm off to see a very nice man named Adam who came by my shop and was looking to sell some stuff. Don't know what he has. He said something about a really cool engine of some kind. So I'm gonna go out to the country and we're gonna go see what he's got. Let's go digging, and I'll take you on my errands today. Out hunting around, and we've come across a model biplane. And you said this was meant for the museum.
Edmonton City Edmonton Museum, I believe.
And it was a display. Pretty cool. Like, it's the size of a pedal car or something. I mean, it's not something you could ever fly or ride in, but it might look cool as a display piece. And it's gonna be coming home, so we're gonna have to get it down off the top of this big, crazy cool snap-on toolbox and get it back on the ground here. Aside from the super cool biplane that we're picking up, I'm just going up the ladder here to grab the wings. He actually has a very rare aircraft engine, but I don't think I have a use for it, but I think I know somebody who does. But let me show you the engine too. So I was on my way over to look at the engine, and you've got, this is a 67 Camaro?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Okay, and you've got it all taken apart?
Yeah.
Bits and pieces?
Car rebuilt all over the shop.
All over the shop, yeah. And you were saying that you bought it and it looked really good, but then you got it, drove it home, and it started to act up?
Broke on the way home, and I had to have it towed from Airdrie home.
Oh, wow.
So I bought it in Calgary, and...
Did you get in touch with the buyer? Did you say, hey, this car I bought fell apart?
I know he wasn't the builder. He's the buyer that bought it in between, and he probably found out the things that work had to be done to it, and
decided to pass it along.
Pass on it and get it sold.
Well, it'll be a sweet ride when you get it all done.
Yeah, well, it'll be nice. 383 stroker and 450 horse. And
450 horsepower. And
9-inch rear end to hold that together on the back end, and it will have a 4-link rear suspension.
Nice and solid. I don't suppose you want to trade straight across for a rusty Volkswagen van?
No.
Oh. Hey, you never...
The van was worth a lot on your...
Oh, the van will be cool when it's done, yeah. Actually, I'm hoping the van isn't too rusty. We'll find out. But this is the Allison V17 from... V1710.
1710 cubic inches.
1710 cubic inches. Would have been used in a fighter plane?
Fighter planes. Early P-51 Mustangs.
Yeah.
P-39s that was a mid-mount engine aircraft, and the P-38s was a twin-mount engine. So one turned left and the other turned right on the engine.
Oh, wow.
So this has the prop box, so that eliminates it from being powered with P-39.
Right, okay.
Don't know the full history of this engine because it does not have the data plate anymore.
Right, yeah, it would take a bit of research to figure out where it was used. And
if we had the serial number, we could tell what aircraft it actually came from. But the documentation, obviously, on this one is lost.
And I came out here to actually have a look at this, but as cool as it is, it's not something I would love to have it as a display piece, but it would take up a lot of room. But I did know that my friend from the museum, with the Reynolds Museum, is vastly interested in aircraft and preservation. And so we did actually find a buyer for it, and hopefully he'll reach out to you soon and come pick it up. But what a cool piece of history to preserve, and good on you for keeping it safe and out of the elements and getting it back to the right type of person who will hopefully get it back in a plane again.
I was hoping my intention, but I don't have the funds to do that.
You mean you didn't want to throw it in the biplane there? No. That would have been a wild ride. And we did get the biplane loaded up. We laid it down ever so gently on its side so the wind didn't pick it up and actually fly away. We're going to do the wings on a separate trip because they just won't fit in the back. This is why I wish I had my truck back from the shop, because it would have all fit in there. But some really cool finds today. Thank you for having me over.
You're welcome.
Well, for the first stop of the day, I think that's pretty successful. Ended up snagging a cool biplane, and it's actually built just like a real airplane. It's stretched canvas, wood frame, just a miniature. Now the trick is, I don't really have a whole lot of space at the store for it, but I think I do have a friend who's got a shop that it would look fantastic in. So while I am on my way to my next pick, my next adventure, which is coming up in about an hour here, I'm gonna make some phone calls and see if I can pre-sell the biplane to my buddy who's more inclined to have the space and interest in that kind of thing. But cool start to the day. Sold a P-51 Mustang fighter plane engine, and ended up getting a biplane for the shop. Oh, and a little gas pump too, which is in the back. But off to the next adventure. I'm on my way to my second, it's kind of my third stop of the day, because I did have to stop and pick up chips and salsa for the store. Although it's so good, I'll probably bring some of it home for us tonight. If you're ever in my store, you got to pick it up. Anyway, I'm here and I'm back in the country, and I'm driving along and I don't know where I am. It's giving me the wrong address, and I feel like I'm somewhat lost right now. It has also been snowing quite a bit. So in the last little while, we've probably got maybe a couple inches of snow. It's let up a bit now. But I'm hoping that I'm getting closer to this place, because time is ticking and I got to get everything back to the shop. What is that up ahead? What am I looking at in front? Is that what I think it is? Hang on. I think that's exactly what I think it is. Somebody has built themselves a TARDIS. I always joke about that. I was joking that our porta potty that we had set up at our construction site looked like the TARDIS. But these people actually have a TARDIS that they've built as a bus shelter, probably for their kids. Pretty cute idea. I imagine it's a lot bigger on the inside. Farewell, country TARDIS. I've got to go and find this fellow and buy some stuff. Well, I found the place. I couldn't film inside because you had lots of other stuff. But I did buy some things, and I'm going to offload. I'm actually at the store now. I'm at the store right now. And I didn't get lost in the TARDIS, and I made it to the store safe, and it's still snowing. Oh, look at my window. It looks like, and I can kind of see through the window here, I see the front end of an airplane. There's a biplane in there. Okay, I'm gonna go in. I see some friends hanging out in there. I gotta offload some stuff out of the vehicle, and still, as of today, using my mom's. That's why I couldn't haul the airplane home earlier. Do I have stuff back here? Oh, right, chips and salsa. Tortilla chips. Okay, we'll get that loaded in first, and then I'll show you what I bought. So, you know, that happened today. I am gonna try and get the wings on it. I do have a customer who's interested in possibly buying this already, but he wants to see what it looks like with it, with the wings and everything on. So I think what I'm gonna do is Bill's helping me get the salsa and chips off the table here. I might actually try and set it up on top of this table and see what the heck it looks like when it's all assembled. But aside from the, it's got little guns on it. Aside from the biplane, which I'll show you hopefully at the end of this video what it looks like assembled, I have to go get some cool stuff that I bought from the last house. Okay. First box. Okay, well, I guess I'll grab that's the pilot's head, his decapitated head. I did get some straight razors. Okay, I'll just bring this stuff. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to bring in, and I will show you. Oh, another straight razor. I'll leave that on the seat. I'll bring this, and then we'll empty out the rest. One of the pieces I picked up was this. It's a snap-on miniature gas pump. It's a replica of a Wayne pump. What's really cool about it is it lights up. So you can plug it in, it lights up. It's a newer piece, but it's still cool. It's snap-on, which there are many collectors of snap-on. But if I go around to the other side, ooh, like that, look, it's also a display case. So you've got the display on the one side, and I think the top lights up on it. Well, we're gonna find out. I have the plug, I have the ladder, I've got the ambition. I'm gonna get it set up and we'll see what this thing looks like all lit up. Well, there it is. all set up in its new home at the front of the shop, next to the giant Snap-on novelty socket wrench that I've got there. It is Snap-on Central around here. The neat thing about this is that this fellow also happened to have the pieces, brackets that this was mounted on. So if I get ambitious, I can actually mount it upright on the wall the way it's supposed to be too. Unfortunately, some of the glass in the case was broken, so I will have to safely discard of that. It'd be easy enough to get a new piece of glass cut for it. But for now, I'm gonna make sure that's not anywhere near where customers can go because we don't have any accidental injuries. Although that gas pump over there is super cool, I was able to also get a couple other unique items. Now, the gentleman whose house I went to was actually a coach of the Women's Olympic Canadian volleyball team from the 1980s to the early 2000s. And we're just going through the basement. He wanted to show me his art, and I said, well, this is really cool. This is a piece of bone that's been carved into a figure. It's a nice, likely Northern Indigenous piece. And you look here, and it was awarded the Canada Cup for Women Award, presented annually to the tournament champions. So there you go, Canadian Women's National Volleyball Team, and it's got all the players on the side. This was 1986. So this was a, it shows the gold, silver, bronze. This is an Olympic trophy. You know, how often you go to somebody's house and get an Olympic trophy for volleyball, an award that was essentially just sitting on his floor. Really, really neat piece. Really unique item, and I was super happy. So I said, hey, do you have other things that might have been used in the Olympics? And he said, well, yeah, I do. And we looked around and we're walking through the basement, and I found these shoes. Now, you might think, Alex, why are you buying old shoes? What's neat about this, these Flying Bird 1980s Mizuno athletic shoes were designed around that time, and this was actually very early, almost prototype. Look, it's got the Velcro. Remember when Velcro was a thing? Everything was Velcro for a while. These are very early prototype era sort of shoe. Really, really unique piece. He said that they asked him to try them out and see what he thought of them. So these weren't even really in production at the time that he was wearing them. So it's sort of a pre-production model of shoe, and there are many people, sneakerheads, people who are really into running shoes and stuff that would buy those. And then I saw this. Now these are Asics Tiger. This is shoebox. And I said, well, the shoe is still in it? And he said, yeah. These were given to him by their sponsor, by Asics, which I believe Bruce Lee was also a fan of Asics. These have never been worn from 1981, and these were given to him to use at the 81 Olympic Games. So these are Olympic shoes meant for the Canadian Olympic volleyball team, unused condition. What a crazy thing to find. And if that wasn't all, I also got the Olympic sweater too, that would have come along with that at the same time. You see the red and white, you got the red and white shoes. So you don't know that you're gonna go through somebody's basement and find unworn Olympic merchandise from the early 80s. That's so cool. And somebody watching, I'm sure at home, would think that's neat. Early basketball shoes can be worth thousands of dollars. Early Jordans, probably not as much demand for the Asics, but because they are the official Canadian Olympic shoe, there is going to be a little bit more demand for that. Oh, and a horse. And I saw this horse statue and I went, well, that's really neat. This was also a gift for athletics, and it was given to him from a Winnipeg artist. It is signed on the back there. It needs a really good dusting. But it was just so neat that I thought, well, that's something that I could certainly see myself having at the shop. And here it is at the shop. But before I get too far going through these really cool items, I might ask Bill if he wouldn't mind giving them a bit of a dusting and cleaning before we put them out. And while he's doing that, I'm going to go build a Sopwith Camel aircraft in the next room. Now to the fun task of building a nearly life-size airplane. Now, what's cool about this is it's not just any airplane, it's a replica, they say a model of Watt May's 1918 Sopwith Camel. This is a replica of one of the last planes to be in battle with the Red Baron. So of course, I can see why they would have made that plane. I can see why they would have made a miniature of it, because Watt May is from Edmonton. And in fact, we have an area called Mayfield that's named after his airstrip that he had, Mays Field or Mayfield. And they actually did a nice job. Like I said, they built it just like a plane. It's real canvas, real stretched canvas over wood. It's essentially a tiny miniature real airplane. So we are going to try and get this thing assembled. I don't know where the propellers are for it. got the wings, I see the tail, but maybe there's no props. Maybe I have to build some props for it. Either way, I'm gonna get it up on the table here and see if I can assemble the darn thing. Well, I've come into a bit of a problem. As I'm starting to get the wings put on, this thing is darn near the size of an actual airplane. It is not the small model that my brain told me it was. It's probably got 16-foot wingspan on it. So with one wing on it, basically covers the entire door and comes out, and I don't have enough room to put the other wing on in here. But it's enough for me to get an idea of what it would look like assembled, and it is really, really cool. So I'll snap a picture of it from the best angle, probably somewhere around here, send it off to my friend and see if this would look great hanging from their ceiling. Well, this ended up being quite the day. From brokering the sale of a P-51 Mustang engine to buying a miniature World War I biplane, assembling half of it, to getting Olympic memorabilia and collectibles. Just a really fun day. That's what I love about this business. You never know what's gonna happen. And if you like these videos, make sure to subscribe, tune in for more. There's always something going on around here. In the meantime, I've got to partially disassemble this airplane and hopefully find a new home for it. So thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you all soon, and bye for now.